how do we move through the mire of resistance and go forth and do our work in the world? This book, The War of Art, Break Through the Blocks and Win Your Inner Creative Battles, is an excellent treatise on resistance and all its forms and iterations, all of its masks, all of the ways it shows up and stops us. And it also goes into how to transform that, how to become a pro, how to as well kind of get beyond it essentially. And basically I'm thinking particularly about maybe what happens when I wake up in the morning and there's this sort of feeling of like you've been lying down, I've been lying down, and I wake up and I'm just like, I don't know what it is. It's like stagnation, it's blocked chi, there's something that's happened where I've been ground to a halt and slept, and there's this liminal state before getting into the day where it just feels like it's very cuspy. It could go either way. It could be like, I'm gonna, you know, just feel out of sorts, or I'm gonna just not judge and not let the thoughts come in to commentate this uneasy, weird sort of limbo feeling. I'm just gonna, you know, go through the motions and sort of, yeah, sit up for a few minutes and drink loads of water and, yeah, just make sure my breathing's kind of regulated and then go forth. And really these states of resistance can be, I think in some ways, what drives us to act. Like we need to have a certain level of resistance and ick of like in order to then like do the thing. So for example, if we're just kind of like at a normal homeostasis of, yeah, I'm just a sort of doing stuff, I'm just doing stuff, and you wouldn't get, it's like a peak and a trough analogy. It's like without the trough you don't get the drive or the energy to sort of, I want to change this. Without that sort of dip or state that you don't want to be in, you don't get the kind of spark or the will, you know, that sort of solar plexus will, that bit of anger with the current situation that makes you want to actually, you know, drat to this, I'm trying not to swear, I reject this situation of inertia and I now decide to do this, make these changes. And sometimes I think we can invite resistance in because it serves us in that way. And I would really recommend this book. It talks a lot about this kind of thing. Resistance is actually helpful. Resistance can, yeah, be the thing that helps. This is the opposite of what it says here, which is resistance's goal is not to wound or disable. Resistance aims to kill. Its target is the epicenter of our being, our genius, our soul, the unique and priceless gift we are put on earth to give, and that no one else has but us. When we fight it, we are in a war to the death, and that's why the analogy is the war of art. And I think Stephen Pressfield was actually a military person. But anyway, when we get to the sort of further on in the book, it talks about how we can redeploy that resistance anyway and use that energy to make changes in our lives. So in my example of, you know, the morning limbo or these moments, like I particularly struggle with getting in the flow and starting stuff, and I'll use a lot of things to procrastinate. I think it can be really helpful actually when, if you do find yourself avoiding or procrastinating, to think like, I'm not avoiding or procrastinating, like I'm doing this other thing because it's getting me in the zone to do the thing that I want to do. So you're not doing nothing, you're doing the thing that's easier, so that might be helping others, or it might be doing something administrative, shallow work level of engagement, but actually that's getting you into like a limbo state that's inviting you to get into a flow and overcome resistance. And when you see the things that are blocking you as things that might be helping you, that's another way to sort of shift resistance as well, because whatever we do, like, we need to do it with love. Or we don't need to, but it's better to. And if you're not going to do something with love, use the resistance that you have to the fact that you're doing something that you don't want to do, whether that's sitting, procrastinating, whether that's watching crap, whether that's, you know, engaging in addictions, whether it's doing work that you don't love. All of it, it's like, it's either something to surrender to and enjoy, or something to use to galvanise your sense of, oh, I'm doing this, well, I could use this energy to do the thing that I actually want to do. So that's just a little one on resistance, and I would recommend this book. It gives a big sort of manifesto essentially. It talks about what professionals do. We show up every day. We show up no matter what. The stakes for us are high and real. We do not over-identify with our jobs. We have a sense of humour, and yeah, all of this for the love of the game. And it relates to the stuff about moving from an ego to a task orientation that I've talked about in other videos as well, and overcoming resistance and removing creative blocks. So there's loads more content about that, and I can help you with that in terms of one-to-one coaching, and there are also going to be events and course offerings, so check out the links below for that, and comment on how you deal with resistance and how you have overcome resistance perhaps. Thank you for watching.